Bobby Bones Show now.
Catie Offerman.
So I did a podcast with Catie, and it was so interesting. I said, hey, come by the radio show, too. Catie, good to see you again.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Your story is so interesting. You know, I want to start with you were homeschooled on your ranch in a barn.
Yeah.
So
No friends.
what is a typical school day like?
Oh, man. Well, we used to get up like at 4 a.m. My dad was training horses, but he also was like trying to run marathons. And so we'd get up at 4 a.m. I was a chubby little kid, you know, and so like he'd want to get up and go run down our mile-long ranch road. And that pissed me off.
Was it like PE? Was he like, this is school?
Well, yeah, probably he thought it like instill good character in me. It actually just made me mad. And so we'd do that as a family. Like my mom, my dad, and me would go run on the road, come back, you know, classic Texas homeschooler. We'd have our Bible study, and then we'd go out to the barn and get to business like at 7 a.m. So I was done by noon, and then my dad would take me out on the ranch and like teach me how to start a fire with a magnifying glass.
Things that kids should know.
I've used that a lot in my life.
Usually taught by other kids.
Right.
But you say you had no friends. What about the goats? What about the horse? Did you
I
name them?
had so many animal friends. Yeah, I mean, like I had Susie, my cow. Coco was my mean pony that was gifted to me because she bucked another kid off.
You got a second-hand pony.
Right, I did. I did. But we had everything. We had dogs, guineas, not guinea pigs, but guineas the bird, turkeys, chickens, you know. Sometimes we'd come home and they'd be slaughtered in the backyard from the raccoons or the whatever it gets them. I can't remember. Mountain lions, whatever, bobcats.
Yeah. I'm getting sadder. The more animals you mention that kill, I'm getting sadder. She's like, just foxes. I want to play a clip of Don't Do It in Texas. This is from Catie Offerman.
Just don't do it in Texas. Don't do me that wrong. Don't want it.
So how instrumental is Texas in your country music?
Texas is my foundation, you know. I'm also I feel like one of those proud Texans, as any Texan is. But even just like growing up on the ranch or playing triple fiddles in a Western swing band across Texas, you know, like I've put in a lot of hours and miles in Texas, and that has shaped me to who I am, and the music too. Like, you know, Bob Wills or, you know, like even Johnny Gimbel. Like I used to listen to music and love hearing like, what was that fiddle solo or what was that, you know? And, people like Johnny Gimbel, like fiddle player, like who my age even knows who he is. But,
can you hear something and play it back on fiddle just by ear?
Yeah, it depends on like how complicated it is.
But if you just heard, you could just,
yeah, I mean, yeah, just like that. I mean, for the most part, I mean, you know, I don't know.
I'm not even going to test you.
Did you bring your fiddle? I'm going to start singing you melodies.
You're so like in just all these instruments, like the accordion, that big thing that's a piano, and then the buttons on the side with the strap. The fact that you played the accordion and then you played it in a polka band and you toured at 12 or 13. Like my mind is blown because that seems like there's a lot going on in that accordion.
There's a lot going on.
It's like pushing in and buttons and piano. It's like all that, right?
Yeah, I think that's why it's in the closet right now. Because it's just, you know, there's only so many hours in the day. That thing, I mean, man, if you stop playing that thing, you get rusty really fast.
Is it super heavy?
It's heavy. I mean, I put it on like a couple weeks ago. I have the same accordion I had when I was 10, whenever I started. And even when I put it on now, I'm like, my God, you know, I'm exhausted. So I've been looking at really cheap, small accordions on Amazon. So
same.
Yeah, right.
Except I don't know how to play one.
We can do dueling accordions.
You're playing the Opry September 2nd.
I am.
It's your debut.
I'm really excited.
Who's going to come watch?
Oh, man. Well, my dad keeps calling, telling me that some of his friends are driving up from Texas. I'm like, who are these people? He's like, you remember Gene and whatever? I'm like, I don't actually. Leroy's coming, I heard. So, Leroy, if you're listening, I'm excited you're coming. But my family, you know, Colby's mom's coming, my husband, my mother-in-law, she's coming, and they're splitting time. My father-in-law is going with their other child to the Iowa game because they're big football fans. That's kind of my main flaw is I'm not a sports person. So I know you are.
Yeah, I'm a big sports person.
Right, as most people are.
Yeah, I'm a big sports person. But it's exciting. You're playing the Opry the first time ever.
I'm really excited. The Opry is to me, the thing that makes it such a big deal is like I remember my grandparents aren't alive anymore, but I remember like being on their porch and listening to records and talking about life and everything. And it was like, man, the Opry was something that they got. They were like, wow, the chance to be able to play that one day. They wouldn't even have a clue what a publishing deal was or a record deal. Like, huh? You know? But I remember my parents driving me up when I was little and my grandparents driving me up when I was little, and we went and saw like Alison Krauss at the Opry. And it's just like, to me, it's the best. It's like going to church.
It was my grandmother, too, that got me so interested and now invested because I work with the Opry and perform at the Opry.
Yeah.
Same thing. She wouldn't know what any of this stuff is that I do. But if I were to have told her I could play the Opry, she would be like, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
The first time I went up, I will do comedy there, and I don't cover jokes. Jokes something you don't cover. That's not really a thing. But I did. I covered my grandmother's favorite joke from Jerry Clower my first time up as my final joke because I was just like, she would think this is the coolest thing ever.
Awesome.
So now I'm going to cover a joke that she loved. And so it's super special. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I know they're going to be watching from above, but, it's going to be a really special thing. And I can't wait. Now I'm like, am I going to get to play there again? It's easy to start thinking about the next thing, but I'm just excited, honestly.
Her name is Catie Offerman. You guys can follow her at Catie Offerman with a C. And don't be surprised. I went to her Instagram, and you can watch her sing in real life. I mean, she sing not in a studio, but then she grabs the fiddle and she kills the fiddle, and you're just like, what in the world's happening? So quite the accomplished musician, but really great singer. I know you said it was late till you found your voice, like your literal voice, but wow, really great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like I was saying earlier, it's like God gifted me with about 10 notes. So I think he knew that I knew what to do with that, because there's a lot of people out there, because, man, I think all the time, I'm like, and I'll admit it, you'll find 1,000 girls that can sing just, all around me. That's not going to be me. But I just hope that whatever I do and whatever I say, I hope somebody believes, and I hope that it is meaningful. And because that's all I can do. All I can do is stand up there and play my songs and hope that somebody believes me,
We're going to play Happy Land Trailer Park.
Let's do it.
You wrote this with Joe Clemens and Rodney Clausen.
Yes.
It's a pretty good room.
Nice.
So give me the gist of this song so when I play it, people understand what they're hearing.
Yeah. It says in the song, everybody's got a different definition of the good stuff. And so, it says Happy Land Trailer Park. And I have since Googled Happy Land Trailer Park, and it does exist. So I'm thinking it could be a road trip in my near future. But it's like, man, if it doesn't have to be a trailer park. Whatever your happy place is, if that's sitting on your couch with a cup of coffee, if it's with somebody you love, if it isn't, I have a sense of adventure. So for me, it's like, where can I go that I haven't been? Whatever that thing or that place or that person is in your life, it's like, I hope you find it, because life is short. And we wrote this in the middle of COVID and everybody was kind of down. It's just like, man, go find that thing that like burns a fire inside of you, And heck, maybe it will be Happy Land Trailer Park when I drive there in Canada. And there is one in Canada and Oklahoma. So
I'd choose the Oklahoma one.
Right.
It'd be easier to get to. Yeah.
I'm going to go to both. I'll report back. But no, this has been so fun. And also, y'all were the first people. Like, I never heard myself on the radio before. And this song, y'all took a chance on and played. And that was really, really special. So I'm glad that people got to hear this song.
Well, they're going to hear it again. That's Catie Offerman. Follow her, Catie with a C, Catie Offerman. And here is Happy Land Trailer Park.
It's a Bobby Bones show.